for so many years for Minnesota. And Scott Hunter leads the Falcon Red. A sellout crowd, the earliest sellout they've ever had in Atlanta. In fact, good afternoon to you. I'm Pat Summerall, and this really is Tom Brookshire, back from being the great pumpkin of earlier this afternoon. And as I said a moment ago, Tom, the town is turned on.
Well, Scott Hunter's offense is not losing the football game, which all coaches want, but they're not a good rushing football team. I think you have to go out against the Vikings and literally mug them and be physical, and if the Falcons don't do that, I think they're in trouble.
It is an amazing defensive statistic.
It
Just
is.
2 touchdowns given up by this defense.
The last touchdown was the second game of the season, the third quarter, so their defense is going to gamble, and Fran Tarkenton throws quick things. I think it could be a good matchup, but I think Atlanta has to play really over their heads today.
Let's get down and see what's going on the field as we're just about ready for action. Atlanta won the toss, and the deep men drop back in receiving position now. Deep for Atlanta will be Rick Bias, number 38, Roland Lawrence, number 22. Kicking off for the Vikings, the veteran Fred Cox, number 14, who says this year will be his last. And what a great career he has had. Fred Cox hooks it out of bounds. Carl Farmer is the deep man for Atlanta, number 80. A wide receiver.
We probably ought to declare something right away, though, Patrick, that this team does not consider itself old, and they really are tired of being called graybeards and all that. They average about Minnesota's 28, little over 28 years average per player on a squad. They do have young players coming up. They changed the squad, and I think we sort of lean on that too heavily, and it's a sports writer's or sportscaster's job to look at how the play is, not worry about their age.
There are the officials. The referee is Cal Lepore, Dave Hamilton, Ray Sonnenberg, Bill Swanson, Grover Klimmer, and Jack Vaughn assisting. And here goes Fred Cox, this time from the 30. And this time he hangs it straight in the direction of Farmer, who will field it at the 17. Carl Farmer behind the wedge. Outside the 35 to about the 37, where the Falcons will take over. Stopped by Tom Hannon. Here is the Atlanta offensive line. It is very, very young. Adams, Scott, Van Note, Thielman, and Bryant, draft choice number 1.
Well, what's that big Bryant? He's 6'7", about 260, and does hold occasionally.
There are the receivers, Jenkins, Francis, and McCreary. The big tight end, Jim Mitchell, is out. That's the Atlanta backfield. Hunter, Stanback, and Monroe Ely. Stanback gets the first call and tries to get to the outside. Stopped by number 55, Scott Studwell, starting in place of Jeff Seaman. Defensive line for Minnesota. Almost every football fan could recite those names. Eller, Sutherland, Page, and Marshall.
Big Carl's had 6 sacks already, but the thing is that here are the linebackers. Studwell in now, and Seaman is out. The great secondary that really is one of the underrated secondaries in football.
Again, it's Stanback trying to get to the outside. Eller got a piece of him. And Matt Blair took him down.
Try to counter. Again, Lehman Bennett would like to be able to move the ball on the ground. And really, so far, even though they're 4-2, the Falcons haven't done that. They average about 2.8 a rushing shot. That's the worst in the league. Boy, if you're throwing every down against this defense, you're in real trouble.
It's a throwing down coming up. 3rd and 8 at the 38. Or make it 3rd and 7. And Scott Hunter drops and throws. Complete to Stanback, and then he dropped it. Matt Blair on the coverage. And the Falcons will have to punt. And you'll see one of the finest punters anywhere in football in the person of number 6, John James.
He's not only a great punter, but he had to keep telling people all the way from the University of Florida up here that I can punt in this league. He has really done a job. He kicked 101 times last year, Pat, for this team.
There's number 6 with his back to you on 3rd and 7. Manfred Moore, deep for Minnesota. Fine kick by James, as you would expect. Moore will handle at the 19. Got around 1. Flag goes down. We'll have a clipping penalty right off the bat. Tom Moriarty made the tackle for Atlanta.
They're going to call Allen, number 25, for clipping. A very close call because he tried to set up that wall, and, well, I guess all clips on the punt return are close.
With the rules as they are now, it's awfully tough not to clip on a punt return.
I've always felt if you do, you might as well make it a good one, but that's not a good philosophy. It's not for healthy play.
So Cal Lepore will walk it off against Minnesota. And Fran Tarkenton and the offensive group will start deep in their own territory. Back at about the 11-yard line, or make it about the 10.5. There is the offensive line.
Riley, Goodrum, Tingelhoff, White, and Yeri will be going against.
Personal foul, clipping, 25. On the return, first down.
The Minnesota receivers you saw, and there's the backfield. Brent McClanahan and the great Chuck Foreman, number 44. And a guy who owns just about all the passing records in any book.
Imagine him with only 5 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. But when he breaks out, and according to his biorhythmic chart, he's going to have a heck of a closing part of the season.
You checked out his chart, did you?
I certainly gave him temperature and everything.
First down on the 11 for Tarkenton with Foreman and McClanahan behind him. And McClanahan gets the carry, gets out to about the 15. Jim Bailey, number 72 on the bottom of that pile, along with Mike Lewis and Claude Humphrey. Here is the defensive line. I just mentioned 3 of them. Jeff Murrow is having a heck of a year.
That big Bailey came from Baltimore, where he was originally, by way of Cleveland. Lewis and Murrow is just super. He's had 6 sacks already.
55 is the key to that linebacker setup. And there's the Atlanta secondary. Free agents at both corners, in fact. Second down at 6. And McClanahan again gets the call, and again Claude Humphrey gets part of the tackle.
Fran does like to get you 3rd and 2 or 3, doesn't he? That's not a bad 3rd down call. Here it is from behind Tarkenton now. Notice the big splits in that line and how the Viking offensive line is off the ball. They try to get as much room as they can against a stunning defense, and believe me, the Falcons stunted when they came out to warm up.
3rd and 3. And now he's got you guessing. The wide receivers are Rashad and White, and they're both to the same side of the field. A sack by Jeff Murrow on Tarkenton. Back at the 5, Greg Brazina got part of it. Brazina, number 50, the linebacker. Watch it again.
And remember, they're gambling on 3rd and short. They'll send cornerback, safety men. Brazina goes, but watch Murrow. And this guy has improved every day. The hardest working fellow almost in the defensive line. Sack number 7 for Murrow.
And Neil Clabo is number 12. Deep for Atlanta is Rollin Lawrence. And remember, he is very dangerous. Good kick by Clabo with the wind at his back. Lawrence fields at the 44 and comes back this way, and he's got something going. Out of bounds in Minnesota territory. Steve Craig made a good play to contain that.
Lawrence is only 5'2", about 170 pounds, and they don't know how good he is or how good he isn't, but he's one of the real good cornerbacks in football right now. Little guy that gives it all, and he's from right here in Atlanta.
Went to college here, as a matter of fact.
Morris Brown. I think he went on a basketball scholarship. I don't know how he did that at 5'7".
Illegal motion, offense, penalty decline, first down.
You heard the word of Cal Lepore. And so the Atlanta Falcons take over in Minnesota territory at the 46. They'll have it 1st and 10. Steve Bartkowski, by the way, the great prospect that the Falcons have at quarterback, is healthy, and we might see him this afternoon. No score here yet.
Introducing the Ford in your future, the new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's mileage ratings are the same as a little VW Rapid when both are equipped with automatic transmission. And this Fairmont, as shown, is actually sticker priced less than this Rapid. Yet Fairmont has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars. Fairmont, roomy but with mileage like a small car, and the lowest sticker price in its class. Test drive Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
The Quintrix 2-color picture tube from Panasonic brings you a very lifelike picture. Because Quintrix 2 is our inline picture tube, with an extra pre-focus lens that concentrates and focuses the electron beam to bring you Panasonic's sharpest picture ever. So lifelike, you may even feel you're part of the picture. Quintrix 2, one more reason Panasonic is just slightly ahead of our time.
Good 92nd. You're looking at the offensive huddle, and the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, Scott Hunter.
What if you start throwing on first down, Pat, and stop waiting for third down?
Wallace Francis goes in motion, and here he is on first down. Good throw, couldn't find the handle. Alfred Jenkins was the intended receiver. He was covered by Bobby Bryant, but he was open.
And well.
That'll make it 2nd and 10 as the plays come in from the sideline, brought by Phil McKinley. He and Brent Adams shuttle back and forth to tackle and bring in the wishes of new head coach Lehman Bennett. Scott Hunter now on 2nd and 10. Standback gets the call and comes back to the inside across the 45 to about the 43. Jeff Wright made the tackle.
Figuring that maybe Page might have run himself out of position now. Page, that's a Joe Theismann pass, by the way, to Gene Fugit for 15 yards, and the Redskins have a new quarterback and an early lead. Page did not practice all week up with Minnesota. Got sort of a bad wheel, but he somehow plays very well on Sundays. The shoulder, I believe, instead of the leg.
So it's 3rd down now for the Falcons and Scott Hunter. No scores yet in the first quarter at Atlanta. And Scott Hunter calls the draw play. Monroe Ely, the ball carrier, stopped by Matt Blair. And again, we'll see John James.
Let's take a look at it. You're behind Scott Hunter. Bryant's trying to work on Eller, does a pretty good job. Good recovery by Page first, and then the linebacker sealed off.
On 4th down, here is John James now. Manfred Moore back for Minnesota. James trying to go for the sideline, sliced it just a little bit, and gets it out of bounds at about the, close to the 20-yard line where Robert Miller was standing and cut it off. So the Vikings will take over in a little bit better position than they were on their first possession. Not one of John James' better efforts as he trops over to the sideline. And the Minnesota offensive unit goes onto the field. 0-0 first quarter in Atlanta. The Vikings and the Falcons.
Come on, Harry, come on. We're getting our picture taken.
Special moments. Times of your life you'll want to remember. In pictures.
Smile, Howard. Smile.
To help make those pictures look as good as they can, make sure Kodak paper is behind them. If you don't see these words, it isn't Kodak paper. Just look for this sign when you get your pictures. Kodak paper, for a good look at the times of your life.
Gee, wasn't that fun?
Will the insurance fix our chimney?
Sure, after we plow through the paperwork.
It's different with Allstate.
What's different?
We have the world's largest team of claims specialists.
Don't worry about a thing.
They settle most claims like this without estimates.
No problem.
Allstate specialists are interested in you, not paperwork.
I'll call the contractor today.
Oh.
That was easy.
When it takes being different to be better, Allstate will do it.
That's a promise from us, the Good Hands people.
No lineup change for the second possession for Minnesota. No score yet.
Maybe Fran talking his last game down in his native Georgia, huh?
Pump fake, he's got Sammy White. Can't find a handle. Covered by Rollin Lawrence, but White was open.
Lawrence was back about 3 or 4 steps, and nobody can jack the ball around and make defensive halfbacks playing man-to-man get caught in it. That time he just led Sammy White too much, and that's hard to do. Fran has sort of been out of sync with himself. He only had 100 and some odd yards passing against the Rams, but he can come back very quickly, especially against a gambling defense.
And it looks like they might be doing some gambling right here on 2nd and long. Extra defensive backs in the game for the Falcons, and they might be blitzing again. Chuck Foreman around to the outside. Rollin Lawrence came up from his cornerback spot to help make the tackle along with Robert Pennywell. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Atlanta Falcons and the National Football League is prohibited. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 for that offensive unit right there.
We'll try to watch Claude Humphrey rather closely now. The premier defensive end, after sitting out a whole year in 75, is healthy and ready to go.
Number 87 we're talking about. Chuck Foreman. Time for a first down. He got close before Robert Pennywell again made the tackle. Foreman is close to a first down.
We were talking about Foreman with Eddie LeBaron and all yesterday, the general manager of the Falcons. And, you know, he has 1/3 of all the yardage, the total yardage that the Vikings have this year. He catches it like 21 times. He runs for 400 and something yards. He is really one of the incredible athletes around, really.
There's not too much he can't do.
He didn't get a first down, though, and you can't steal first base, can you?
About an inch. There's the Minnesota bench, and it looks like Bud Grant is going to go for it. Claybo walking back. And we'll see some extra tight ends and things like that.
How about going for it? Bud Grant may be wanting to lay his ears back early against this defense.
Looks like it. Mark Keller into the backfield, number 39. Stu Voigt, the tight end, wide tight to the right side. Bob Tucker. Newly acquired one to the left side. Mark Keller got it. Claude Humphrey led the defensive charge, but the Vikings, gambling early, get the first down.
And with a 6-foot, 225-pound straight-ahead running back like Keller, the former WFLer, good call, straight ahead behind Tingle, Hoffieri, and I think Eddie White's in there at right guard now.
Claude Humphrey. Heretofore, he played as an individual. Now he's playing team defense, is Humphrey. Here's Tarkenton on first down outside to Rashad. Knocked out of bounds by Rick Bias.
Rashad had 6 catches for like 75 yards against the Rams in that game, and it was sort of overshadowed, but very steady performer. Used to be Bobby Moore, and he was a heck of a halfback as Bobby Moore.
And now a fine receiver is Ahmad Rashad. In fact, we were talking with some of the Viking people last night, and they were saying that the big difference between this year's team and previous ones is number 28. That's their biggest improvement. Here's Chuck Foreman spinning around to the outside and getting good yardage. Close to a first down before he's tackled again by Roland Lawrence.
Bailey, the big defensive tackle, who weighs about 260, had a pretty good shot at number 44, but he really didn't, did he? We've always said the lateral move that Foreman makes on the tackle is the best, and I don't think you teach this. He probably did this coming out of his crib. Look at that move.
See what happened to Claude Humphrey.
Yeri and Humphrey. That's actually Stu Voigt, the tight end, trying to handle him. He does a good job. Makes the defensive end spin away from where the point of attack was.
It'll be third down. Foreman did not quite get the first down as Tarkenton calls his troops back together. As Tom Brookshire mentioned, this might be Friend's last game in his home state of Atlanta. He has businesses here. Of course, he played high school football in Athens and then went to the University of Georgia.
He has businesses everywhere.
I think he does. This is Mark Keller again trying for the first down, and he may or may not have it. Jeff Murrow led the stacked Atlanta defense. And speaking of being packed, the stands are, and full of red.
That's right. Sandra Humphrey, the wife of number 87, decided to get everybody in red they could possibly move into this stadium. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of flame in here today. I've never seen the town so turned on with their football team.
It's been so long since they've had a winner, and not just necessarily in football.
In life.
First down. We'll watch it again from the ground.
And this time they went off the left side behind Big Riley, also a number 1 draft choice by the Vikings. Well, he made it just by the nose of the ball, I'll tell you that.
Ball is out at the 41-yard line now, where the Vikings have it 1st and 10. Cleveland 7, Kansas City nothing. How'd it happen?
Brian Sipe hit Gary Parrish with a 7-yard TD pass for Forrest Gregg.
On first down, Tarkenton fakes to Foreman. Looks to Rashad. Gets Rashad. At the 40, Rick Bias. The defensive back. Watch this maneuver.
And Bias is not a very big fella. He's only about 5'10". And watch how Moore has to stretch for it. Pretty good pass protection, though, against the stunning defense. Ball's thrown high. Watch Moore. At 6'3", he goes about 6'8". Bias makes a good tackle, but he has to make that tackle. He didn't have much help.
So that pass completion from Tarkenton to Rashad makes it another first down for the Vikings at the Falcon 41. McClanahan and Foreman behind Tarkenton. And McClanahan this time. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage and then rolls for a couple by Jim Bailey.
Misdirection, sort of a takeoff on the old counter play we used to watch years ago. Doesn't fool this defense. And Fran knows they've got a problem because when you're 4-2 at this stage with a building team like Bennett has, they can go ahead and really gamble now on defense. What can they lose?
We'll make it 2nd and 7. 6.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Tarkenton dropped. Again it's Rashad, and again it's complete. Same old story. Bias took him out of bounds.
And just be glad it's only a 5-yard out. Don't worry too much about these. If you're a young cornerback, say, fine, give him 5. They didn't get a first, so they get a completion. So what? If he goes up that sidelines, I'll tell you, Rashad can turn it on.
3rd and 3. Minnesota's offense oiling in gear right now. Tarkenton goes on a quick count. Atlanta still had an extra man on the field. He couldn't get off. That's what he's saying right now. Ron McCartney was the guy who couldn't make it.
Fran hurried up his count to catch the linebacker getting off. Let's see if he did.
They did call a timeout.
They got the timeout call just in time. That is what you call Panic City.
Ralph Ortega realized that they'd have an extra man on the field, and wisely he used that timeout to avoid the penalty. That's what Francis is arguing about right now. He's saying they didn't get it done. 0-0 in the first quarter.
We're the Van Arsdales, Tom and Dick. We're identical twins, and we drink identical beers. Light beer from Miller. We love it. The best thing about light beer is it's less filling. Great taste. Less filling. It's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. Great taste, Tom. Less filling. And I'm not Tom. You are. I'm Dick. You think you are, but you never were.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
To make it in this business, you got to stay one step ahead of everybody else. So I've got something nobody else has. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It could save you money on quality gas, like my 190, the gas that's made to sell below my regular. And most cars that run on regular can use it. Hey, if I don't want you to pass me by, I got to give you a price you can't pass up. Sunoco's penny pinching pump can fill up your tank for less. That's my way of being very friendly.
Sunday, the fun starts at the grand opening of Archie's Tavern as the help walks out and the family fills in for a bubbling highball of hilarity. Sunday at 9, 8th Central and Mountain.
Set.
3rd down situation now for Minnesota with 6:23 left to play in the first period. No scores yet, but the Vikings with the football at the Atlanta 32.
And third and short again.
Stu Voigt lined up as a flanker. Here's Chuck Foreman to the outside, and he's close to first down. Ralph Ortega, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
Ortega, he's the native-born Puerto Rican that played for Florida. Now watch them move to this. Again, that's a scrape defense, so the linebackers are free to make the tackle. They do it, but Foreman gets it over with the hip. Good defense.
Ray Easterling was number 32, helping Ortega. First down at the 30 for Minnesota. Washington, Philadelphia score 14-0 now.
Theismann, the tight end, Gene Field, get a 16-yard TD pass, and it's 14-0.
First down for the Vikings. Again, it's Chuck Foreman. This time it's nothing. The defense, led by number 87, Claude Humphrey, stopped him right at the line of scrimmage.
3-0 Pat Leahy field goal, and the Jets lead New England. I'll tell you one thing, the Jets lead everybody. They're playing good football.
Tell you what, Pat Leahy had been able to convert a couple of times last week. They would have beaten Oakland.
Led on the whole game, didn't he?
Yeah. Richard Todd had some day.
You better get the tight end right now. Fran loves to bring people under against you.
He gives to Foreman. And Foreman has not too much room, but makes something out of nothing. Chuck Foreman by Robert Pennywell, the linebacker, number 59.
Big Jim Bailey, the defensive lineman, claims he was held and tackled. Let's see what happens as they try to get outside. Here's the move by Foreman. He was spinning before he even made contact. Now he gets a little bit. Ortega and company really stuck him.
He got about 5 yards on his own.
Walk on eggs on defense right now. Your secondary's made about 3 or 4 tackles in a row near the line of scrimmage.
The scrambler hasn't scrambled yet. 3rd and 5. The protection was good, and then it broke down, and Tarkenton underthrew in the direction of Chuck Foreman and McClanahan, but he couldn't quite get it there. Ron McCartney and Wilson Famuina.
Famuina, now watch this. He's the big rookie from San Jose. They're doubling on him, and I'm telling you, they're coming up the middle. Fran had time, but everybody was covered. And now watch what happens. Everybody called intentional grounding, and Fran had a lot to say to the 3 people that worked him over.
Famuina was number 75, and here's Fred Cox with Paul Krause holding. It'll be a 42-yard effort.
He's 5 for 8 so far this year.
Block. Bouncing at the 15. The Falcons have the football. It was picked up by Ray Brown, number 34. And so the Vikings come away empty-handed. And look at this crowd. Atlanta Fulton County Stadium is packed and cheering for the Falcons. Enthusiasm here like they've never had before. Still, nothing.
Who is the #1 investment firm in the East? Who is the #1 investment firm in the Midwest? Who is the #1 investment firm in the South? Who is the #1 investment firm in the West? You know who. Merrill Lynch. All around America, more investors turn to Merrill Lynch than any other investment firm. Sure, there are lots of investment firms, but there's only one Merrill Lynch.
Take me away, lover. I'm yours.
I don't go with married women.
What are you doing in our Granada?
Granada? This is my Mercedes.
Hold tight. Getting hands to my Cadillac.
Cadillac, that's the Granada. Alone at last, beloved.
Beloved?
Where's my bride?
You got that Mercedes with another man.
Another man?
The new Ford Granada. One way to tell it from Cadillac or Mercedes is its sticker price. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
The block right up the middle by number 79, Yates. There you see it.
And we come back live with Scott Hunter, still the Atlanta quarterback. Straight ahead is Monroe Ely. Fred McNeil made the tackle for the Vikings. Atlanta has not been able to generate much on offense.
They ran right at Jim Marshall. Everybody's been doing that for 242 consecutive games. And I'll tell you, everybody says, well, he doesn't have a sack this year, and he played with Cleveland back in the early 60s, but Marshall plays, and Hunter's thinking about the last call that failed and wonders why.
Because of Marshall. 1-yard pickup. Scott Hunter drops. To his right a little bit. He's got some room to run. Complete. Scott Studwell knocked the receiver out of bounds.
Alfred Jenkins made an incredible catch over there, Patrick. Let's see how close to the line of scrimmage Hunter is. He's about a half a yard short of it after the scramble. He got a lot of time. Here they are picking up for him. Now he throws it. Watch this catch by Jenkins. And if this young man weighs 165 pounds, he's got a rock in his pocket. An incredible grab, knocked out.
They have him listed as 5'10" and 172, but there's no way he's that big.
Studwell knocked him out, but that's the only reason he didn't come down inbounds.
First down, Falcons against Jenkins comes in motion, and Monroe Ely, the ball carrier. Scott Studwell met him with authority.
Boy, he's a draft that the Vikings picked up. I'm talking about number 55. And he was a defensive lineman at Illinois and weighed 250-something, so the scouts didn't like him. But now he's playing at 235, and he looks like he's going to be a good linebacker.
They say he plays the run almost as well as Jeff Seaman.
That's good.
Whatever problems he has might be against the pass. So far, they haven't shown either. A yard loss on that carry, 2nd and 11 for the Falcons. Haskell's standback is hit and did well to hold on to the football. The very quick Alan Page.
Dave Scott tried to trap him, and you can't trap number 88 even with a big net.
Championship Saturday here on CBS, the series championship of women's tennis featuring Chris Evert and Virginia Wade. That's next Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then World Middleweight Boxing Championship, Valdez against Briscoe.
No way it can go the distance. That's too good a fight.
The Washington International and the world's strongest men, and next week they're going to be throwing tires.
Uh-oh.
Boy, you don't see that very often. Jim Marshall, number 70. Looks like an injury to his right leg. And it's been a long, long time since he's missed a play.
242 consecutive games as a starter, and he's played. Pat, you mentioned it. He wasn't a kicker or he wasn't a specialist. He was a defensive end.
I believe Mark Mullaney will take his place. That's right, number 77. 3rd down now for the Falcons and 14. Ball at their own 33-yard line. Scott Hunter.
Only 2 interceptions all year by Hunter.
Look at Page. Alan Page ran him down. I don't know how he got loose so quickly, but Hunter never had a chance. Flag is down on the play, too.
I tell you, Hunter made a pretty good burst. He had to feel number 88 breathing on him. Boy, Page can still run like a deer, can't he? Let's see who the call is here. Holding.
From the end zone, look again.
Let's see if we can pick it up. It was thrown back into the left here. I think it was Dave Scott trying to hold Alan Page when he was making the run for Hunter.
Mullaney and Page did a little twist.
Illegal use of the hands. 66 offense. Penalty decline. 4th down.
That is Warren Bryant, the Falcons' #1 draft choice from Kentucky, who was called holding.
He had about 6 of them called against the Rams in his first game against Youngblood, but he is getting better.
He is big and strong, and they're very happy. Not right now, perhaps. John James again hangs it high. Fine punt. Chases Manfred Moore. He goes all the way back to the 19-yard line and cuts straight up the middle. John James, another fine punt. Carl Farmer, number 80, got down to make the tackle. On our own tonight at 8:30, 7:30 Central Time, and Mountain Time as well. That, of course, this evening on CBS.
Pat, that was a 50-yard punt and an 8-yard return, and Manfred Moore is some kind of a heck of a punt return man.
Ever dangerous. Again, it's 1st down Minnesota. Still no score. As Talkman drops, the blitz is on. Again, it's Ahmad Rashad who makes the diving catch at the 40. Rick Bias on the coverage.
I'll tell you, Fran did not panic under they had the safety blitz coming that time. Brown blitz from the outside. You might recall Detroit defenses of a couple of years ago looked like this when Jimmy Carr was there. And with Granville and people being from Detroit, you'll see it. Good catch by Rashad. And again, number 10 has been around a long time, hasn't he?
He's a very, very hard guy to blitz because he can figure out what's going on. 3-3 the Jets, New England. Still Washington 14, Philadelphia nothing. First quarter.
John Smith kicked that field goal for New England to get the tie.
1st down Minnesota here, and again it's Tarkenton to Rashad. And again Rick Bias was close, but not close enough.
And the main thing is it's a 2-step drop by number 10. How do you put pressure on this? You don't. And the secondary comes back to the huddle talking about it, but there's just no way you can get penetration before he's got the ball out there.
That pattern looks like it's there whenever they want it, as long as the protection is adequate. There's Rick Bias. 10-0 Cleveland over Kansas City now. Here's 2nd and 3. Chuck Foreman skates and jumps. Not quite a first down. Ralph Ortega, the middle linebacker for Atlanta, made the tackle.
Inside, the Vikings are having some problems. They tried to trap that time with Eddie White and Tingelhoff exchanging. I'll tell you, they are really a wild bunch on defense. And it's great to have that reckless abandon feeling of, oh, we're all in it together, you know. You either hang separately or as a unit, and this team's playing good team defense. Imagine 32 points after 6 games. I've never heard a defense like that.
Me either. Famuina, number 74, in the middle of that defense. 3rd and short. They'll get it. Foreman struggled to get back to the line of scrimmage. Mike Lewis was the guy who penetrated and hit him first. Here it is.
And boy, I'll tell you, the Falcons gang the line of scrimmage with everybody. Look at that. Lawrence is up there, the cornerback. Remember when Lewis had those frustrating years here with the Falcons when he was just an average defensive lineman? It's changed.
That's the end of the first quarter at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and neither team has scored so far. It is 0-0.
Keep on doing that till I get it right. Yeah, I work hard and I play hard, and I use new STP gas treatment. You just pump it in your tank and it goes to work cleaning your carburetor. I take good care of my wheels on account of I'm cheap. I bet you are too. Try it.
This is one of the program cartridges you snap into new Telstar Arcade, the 3-way microprocessor console. Start with this roaring road race. Gun the throttle. Faster. A crash. Score. Next, turn to tennis for more video action. A new challenge, quick draw with electronic pistol for target shooting.
Got him.
All games in full color. Other cartridges available with different programs. So hitch your TV to a Telstar. Telstar Arcade by Coleco.
Stop off at our Goodrich dealer, Stanley. We must have the radial tires rotated.
Have them what? Rotated, sir. Put the front ones in the back and the back ones in the front. Move them, sir, so they'll wear more evenly.
The Goodrich dealer says they'll last longer.
How ingenious. No wonder those clever Goodrich people made that marvelous blimp.
Stanley, do you ever wonder why you're up there and he's back here?
Tires you can trust. B.F. Goodrich. The other guys.
First play of the second quarter, and Neil Clavel will punt for Minnesota.
And Grant did not gamble this time on 4th and a foot.
Rollin Lawrence, the deep back, almost blocked. And maybe the Falcons did get a little piece of it. They came very close to blocking Neil Clavel's punt. I believe it was Robert Pennywell who came close, a flag on the play. The Falcons almost blocked it.
I believe it was Pennywell, a linebacker. I think he got some of that.
Looked funny, didn't it? Like they might call it back now. Still no score. The Falcons, with that awful tough defense, have not been able to generate much offense, but then neither has Minnesota. 7-0 Cincinnati over Houston.
That's a Shelby recovery of a blocked punt to get the Bengals on the board. Can you believe that's their offense now?
Encroachment. Number 25 in the offense, lined up offside. 4th down.
Nate Allen lined up offside. And now it'll be 4th and 5. And again, Neil Clavel back to punt. See if they try to block this one. Yes, sir. That time they didn't come quite as close. Sliced off the side of the foot and out of bounds.
Great kick under pressure, and the Falcons lose 4.5 yards by taking the penalty.
Went out of bounds at about the 16, where it'll be first down Atlanta. They'll have what wind there is at their back right now.
Patrick, crazy statistic. Fran Tarkenton is 5 of 7, 46 yards, all to Ahmad Rashad. I don't know if I've ever seen one receiver catch everything in the first quarter like this.
I don't think I have either. Usually he's got Chuck Foreman involved in some way. It is still Scott Hunter, the Atlanta quarterback. You're looking at Scott Studwell right there.
What a name for a linebacker, huh?
Right. Hunter. Back to Monroe Ely. Ely out to about the 20, a 4-yard pickup. That might be the longest Atlanta rush of the day, stopped by Carl Eller. Big Carl's been around a while, too, and played a few games.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Everybody moans about their losses in the Super Bowl. You realize they've been in 4 Super Bowls against different teams. Everybody forgets they keep going back, and the other teams go somewhere else for a couple of 3 years.
Nobody else has been in that Super Bowl that much. 5-yard gain make it by Monroe Ely, and he'll try it again. Same play. Not as much this time. Nate Wright came up, along with Carl Eller again.
Boy, Eller moves right along the stripe. I can recall when I scouted him at Minnesota and didn't think he would make it in the NFL at all. Here he's working against the tight end and works right into it, makes the play. Boy, if anything, he might be playing better than he did the first couple of years.
Good, strong play by Eller. There is the young head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Lehman Bennett, who was an assistant to Chuck Knox.
You know who he started under years ago? Blanton Collier.
At Kentucky. 3rd and 6 for his offensive unit right now. Scott Hunter drops and Scott Hunter throws and can't get it. Intended for Haskell, stand back. Matt Blair, the linebacker, number 59, was on the coverage, but the pass was thrown out of the reach of Stanback.
Scott should be mad at himself because they had a blitz coming. It was the right play for the situation, just didn't throw the football very well. 2 Premium field goals, and Miami 6-0 over San Diego.
San Diego's a hard team to figure out.
About every 3rd week, they play like gangbusters.
But those other 2 weeks. John James back to punt for Atlanta again with the wind at his back this time. Falcons shift around a little bit. James trying to get it out of bounds away from Manfred Moore, and he does. Fine punt.
And the Vikings were trying to block it. I'm telling you, James had to hurry it, but he whistled one out of bounds. No return. Boy, what a kicking game.
What a kicker he is. He was up in the stands at the University of Florida watching the University of Florida kickers. Finally, one day he said, I can do a better job than that. And he walked out and told the coaching staff he thought he could, and that's how he got the job there.
Watch him drill it.
John James kicks it out of bounds at the 30. The Vikings will take over.
Who has over 5,000 stores nationally with people trained to know their auto parts? Where can you get overnight delivery on almost any part? And who also offers parts and supplies for your tractor, boat, motorcycle, or lawnmower? Now, who should you see for quality parts? NAPA, that's N-A-P-A. We help keep America moving.
Homeward bound, coast of New England.
You got 6'2" feet. 6'2" feet,
The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Minnesota had the ball 9 minutes 54 seconds in the first quarter. Atlanta had it 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Still no score. First down, Vikings at the 30, and Tarkenton's going to throw. He's going to try to throw. He does. Stu Voigt. First time anybody other than Ahmad Rashad has caught a pass from Minnesota. Roland Lawrence made the tackle.
Watch the former Georgia quarterback right here. Now watch Claude Humphrey. He needs cleats on the sides of his shoes. Look at this. And Claude's been watching him do this for years. Unloads it to number 83, who now is being pressed a little bit by Bob Tucker, moving from New York to Minnesota.
Somebody asked Bud Grant. I don't know. That's not what they asked Bud Grant.
Well, that's a real live bird, too. That's the big shocker there.
That's Falcon, I think.
Oh.
Second down. Tarkenton pitches back to Foreman. And he's got some room. Chuck Foreman out across the 45. Ray Brown made the tackle. Somebody asked, well, I'll tell you that story in a minute.
All right, Patrick, let's watch this. Notice how they got the nose man there. Watch the overreaction by the defense. They cut Claude off. They've got Bailey pinned inside. And when you gamble on defense by really hustling, sometimes you can go back against the grain. Tingelhoff goes to the onside and makes a block, gets help from Goodrum. Look out, Minnesota may have found a crack.
Somebody asked Bud Grant, as I started to say, how Bob Tucker looked. They looked fine to him. He had his shoes on the right feet. There's McClanahan into Atlanta territory. Stopped by Ray Brown again.
Good tandem blocking with the center, Eddie White on the right and Goodrum on the left. Remember, if you overcommit yourself on the line of scrimmage, you can be finessed, and nobody knows that better than this man right here. By the way, when they got back from Los Angeles at 5 in the morning, everybody showed up at the office at 7:30, and they worked all day Tuesday getting ready for this game.
And nobody objected.
That's right.
2nd and 4 situation now for the Vikings, and Sammy White can't find a handle. Rollin Lawrence on the coverage behind Sammy White. Like he might have hurt his left knee a little bit.
I guarantee you he'll get up. If he plays one-legged, he has to play that way. There's a tough little customer right there.
Flag down.
Last week he had an interception, a fumble recovery, a sack against Chicago. Other than that, he didn't have much of a day against the Bears.
Cal Lepore coming over to give the yard carriers instructions as to what's going on here.
Remember, we used to call them chain gangs.
Right. They objected.
The chain gangs did.
Side, 34, defense, first down.
Now, when you have your safety man offside, that's a little something new.
That's when you know you're a hustling bunch on defense.
Ray Brown was the guy who was called for being offside, the safety man. It'll be a first down Vikings.
Fran's been throwing on first downs a lot.
At the 44, he'll operate on first down right now. Going deep for White. Rollin Lawrence, they thought he was crippled. They went right after him.
Tell you, Sammy White makes a great run under the ball, which wasn't thrown that well, or that would have been picked off. You'll notice that Lawrence, bad leg and all, is in better position to catch it than Sammy White. Now watch the move that White makes.
Had him right in front of him all the way.
Sammy White's caught a ball every game for 20 straight games since he broke in last year as a rookie.
Everybody knows that science can split the atom, but tomorrow Jessica falls into the clutches of a society that can split human beings.
Oh, you're kidding.
Into two creatures. One of them's good and one of them's bad.
That's good if it's Jessica. They're making it into two.
Watch Logan's run. Here's Chuck Foreman. Watch him run. For not very much this time, Ralph Ortega, the first man to hit him.
We'll try to take a look at this. The line for the Falcons crowd the line of scrimmage as much as they can for their stunts. And the linebackers, Brazina and people, are back now about 4 yards, so they're clear. Look how clear they are. Now watch Brazina show very early on the outside.
Brazini turned him in. Ortega made the tackle. On 3rd and long, here's Tarkenton. Looks like they might be blitzing again, and he thinks so. And here they all come this time. Down the middle, picked out by Rollin Lawrence, still on his feet. Away from another man. Rollin Lawrence swinging up the sideline. Now back to the middle of the field. Lawrence inside Minnesota territory. Brent McClanahan made the tackle.
The 3rd interception for Rollin Lawrence. And it's all red right now. Now watch Fran Tarkenton wave. He sees the safety blitz coming. Watch his arm go up. Go deep, he's saying. There it is. He hangs it. Tell you, Lawrence can play football.
He doesn't have all that much physical equipment, but boy, he's got a lot of heart. Number 22 is Rollin Lawrence.
The Bell system recognizes that many seemingly unrelated business problems are really communications problems in disguise. So we've provided our account representatives with the skills and equipment they need to take a company's problems and our solutions to them and fit them together into a total communications system. For we firmly believe that in solving problems for companies like yours, the system is the solution.
Hey, Mom!
stop sitting around, Mom. Let's take a ride in my new Ford pickup.
All right, let me drive. Hope I can handle it.
This is the one that's built tough with Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension and a new 4-speed overdrive option.
Fire up.
And extensive rust-fighting materials on underbody parts.
What you think, Mom?
You may think I'm off my rocker. This Ford is tough.
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
Sheer bedlam's all in a day's work when Mama signs on as Rhoda's hired hand.
She is driving me up the walls, across the ceiling, out the window.
Sunday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Roland versus Sammy. There, you've seen it all. Now we'll go back live.
And on first down, Scott Hunter rolls to his left. Firing deep for his tight end. Touchdown, McCrary.
There he is, the third-year man from Clark College, 230-pounder.
Greg McCrary.
And Mitchell is out, and McCrary catches the second touchdown pass by this team this year.
A 49-yarder from Scott Hunter to Greg McCrary. Mickemeyer with John James holding. Makes it 7-0.
A great call by Hunter. First down pass. He rolls out to get time, and I'm telling you, he threw it a ton. 88 and out the gate, huh?
I control this television network. I control the other networks, too. I pick the shows, and I pick the times. With the new Zenith video cassette recorder, I can tape anything on TV and watch it anytime I want. I can watch one show and tape another, or tape shows when I'm out. With the new Zenith video cassette recorder, I make the TV schedule fit my schedule.
Zenith, now that great name in TV brings you another great way to enjoy it.
We'd like to tell you the cold, hard facts about another kind of motor oil. An oil that will give the average car up to 10 extra miles per tank full of gas. A synthetic engine lubricant that can also help a properly maintained car get started at 35 below zero. Mobil One, the oil that saves you gas and turns over at 35 below.